Are we alive? All right, we're doing an experiment, and we are located outside the Ozone Studios over here in the bushes, and we are going to be doing some flat lapping. We're gonna try a couple different camera angles, and we're gonna see if our uh, volume is gonna be okay. So you guys, hi. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all you guys for showing up. This was kind of a spur of the moment type thing, trying the vert format and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to change our camera angle before we actually get started, but I did want to kind of give you guys a shot, a view of what the work area is looking like. And it looks like we have, give me a 5x5 for one thing, if you can hear me okay and all that. I'm gonna make sure to dip my hair nicely into all of the silicates. It looks like Blind Squirrel Rocks is here. Melissa's here. Thank you so much for coming. Melissa is your hostess with the mostest with the wrench. And so um, thanks so much for showing up. We have Daniel Plays with Rocks is up in here. Patrick is here with a 6x6. I like that. It's boosted. Um, and thank you, Blind Squirrel Rocks, for the 5x5. It's so good to see you. And 5x5 boops. So, like, that's 25 boops. Let's get at it. A 4x3. Oh my gosh. Now we're having to do other types of maths. Is that okay? Do we need some more or something? Oh no, you guys. Not numbers. I don't want to have to do numbers. The reason why we've all gathered here today is that I had a dental appointment that got uh, put back to another day, and so some glorious free time that was unexpected. Lisa Humphreys is in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. So part of my experiment here, when we change the camera angle, we're gonna switch it around, and we're gonna put it on the exciting stuff here, because it's not me, it's this, and the beautiful rocks that we're gonna be working on today. We're going to be trying some new things. I'm going to try to be able to see the chat in my tablet over there. And it looks like Rufotris had 3 dental appointments this week. Just got home from the final one, 7 or 8 hours total. Dude, I'm so sorry. I am so feeling you. One of the reasons why they rescheduled mine is that it's not going to be a short one either. Yay for teeth! But they're good for chewing, and so it's worth doing. And I'm so sorry. I hope that you're recovering nicely there, Mr. Rufo. Sorry again. And it looks like Resort Dog is here. And something about having a fanboy crush. That's pretty funny. Um, and are you sure he's working on your teeth? Oh gosh, that's terrible. Yeah, we're all feeling for you so much, Mr. Chris. Definitely hope that you're feeling better, and that everybody's teeth is feeling good. I'm squinting because the sun is out. It's so cool. Actually, I was gonna do this last week when it was so hot, as opposed to so cool, but it was so warm that I was afraid that our phone here would overheat, and so we decided to postpone and just get the work done anyway. But so what is the work you're asking? We have a nice bouquet of dots here today that we're going to be working on, and they're from a few different sources. So we've got some Blind Squirrel Rocks fossil, and Blind Squirrel Rocks is here. So how exciting is that? These are some horn coral coins that we cut in half, and you'll get a better look at this when I turn the camera around, of course. But I thought I'd introduce our stars of the day. These are the lovely victims of the polishing today. And so we've got a couple of those fossils. We've got some of the Gemfield chalcedony. This one's really neat because it's got a druzy center. There are some agates that we may or may not get to. We're on the brown lap today, and some of them actually need to undergo one step up the line and get ground some more. We've got a maloi agate that I got from Josh's Incredible Journeys, and so shouts out to a bunch of different channels. We have some silver ore from the Black Warrior mine. I was saying Black Widow mine for a little while, and it was because it's adhered to my brain the wrong way. And so we're going to try to get that right. So this is actually some silver ore bearing quartz that we will be shining up today as well. So we have some lovelies. There's also some graveyard point agate and some a couple of things from some other channels, like Ken has a piece of it's some crazy jasper, and I keep on forgetting what the name of it is. Just some other good stuff. Even a Dustin rock in there. And then actually a little bit later, if we have time, because we're going to go ahead and spend some time here on the wheel, then we also have Diane's finishing chalcedony cab that we just need to put like a little final polish on. And so, yep, I still have it, and she gets two boxes because she already got the box for her that auction that we did, and she gets to also fantastically get a whole nother box with this cab and some other fun goodies in it. And I really appreciate all your guys's support with the auction that we did. Who knows, some of these little guys might end up there or into some jewelry pieces, not entirely sure. But I also appreciate your thumbs up on this video and all the memberships and all the good. And so let us get into action. We're gonna get this thing flipped around soon. Let me catch up here really quick on the chat. Hopefully yours is as pain-free as mine. Oh, that's good. You've got a good dentist. All right. Yeah, that was actually one of the reasons why I got moved, is we were making sure that the dentist that I had was the one that could do all of the different wonderful pain mitigation varieties. And so yeah, that was definitely worth, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I'm pretty bad anyway, so it's not like I was chomping at the bit literally to get to the dentist, but I was like, yeah, you want to put it off, okay. Yeah, cool. Some Gemfield, everybody loves it. All right, and so we are going to turn this bad boy around and get to some polishing. And so just bear with me for just a moment. We're going to try not to give you like up the nose cam or anything like that. We'll give you a pretty view, and actually then we'll give you a sky view, and then we'll shit. Did that do it? No, we want the sky view. There we go. And the paneling. There we go. Getting everything switched around. You know, rehearsals are good for this sort of thing. Obviously not terribly rehearsed. And there's the railing. There's the yogurt cup, and that's my favorite hack for making sure that There's a nice water supply for the lap. There we go. And the way that I did that, those of you who have like the little flat lap from High Tech Diamond, they give you a little cup that's very much like the little cup that is your catch cup for your water. I actually took, this oversized yogurt container and I put a lid on the bottom so that it fits into this little area. And then you can also spin it onto a jar, like such as what we've got these guys in. It still fits on a jar, so if you need to use it as a drip station for carving, then you already have it up off of the work area. And so that's my kind of funny little design. And we can even get in a little bit closer. Wow, crazy. So sensitive. And so what I thought would be super fun was to start off with one of these beautiful blind squirrel rocks fossils. And we are done with the metal plates, which I believe I have a 180 for the metal plates, and we've moved on to the brown High Tech Diamond resin disc, and I think this is 280, or it's either 280 or 240. I know Rufo knows. It always spaces my mind since I use so many different things. And we've got, actually, because of the angle of light, we have a bit of shadow in our view, but I don't think that that's going to really make too much of a difference. And Mutt is saying 220 for the High Tech Diamond. Thank you so much. That's right, you guys. You have this one too. I always forget my my dealio. And don't forget your safety glasses when you are working. And also, it's a good idea to wear a respirator if you can. I'm outside, so I'm not too worried about it. And one of the things about this particular wheel is it's got a bit of a wonk to it, so hopefully it's not going to absolutely give you some sort of a seasickness. But when we were starting with a lot of people getting the high-tech flat laps, folks were talking about how, do you always, are you beholden to making just a flat surface when you polish? And I would say that I seldom make a flat surface when I polish. The key is to just keep the stone dancing around on the lap as you're working, and you would want to anyway, so that you don't form spots that are facets or that are hotter than the other spots on your stone. And so this has always been a method. I love dopping so that I keep my fingernails, although I did lose my fingernails while I was working on the fire opals. And so I'm going to try to, like I said, keep an eye on our chat. So be mesmerized for a little bit with this beautiful stone, ice skating around on the 220 brown disc, brought to you by High Tech Diamond. And well, the grits, right? The grits on the back of the laps. Yeah, right? That's an absolutely wonderful idea. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing that with my brain and all the other brains. It's like I always figured that I'm going to remember what the exact grits are, and then I don't have as good a brain as I think I do, which is always disappointing. So another thing that I love to have when I'm doing this is a jeweler's loop available, which of course I left inside. So I'm going to be fetching that here in a moment, but I am checking the chat. Isn't that the 380? I thought the 220 is purple. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that the brown one is the next one up. So again, my bad. I always totally space these guys. I need a color coded system just like right on the wall so I can always glance up. Yeah, I'm on the 325. Thank you. And Ken has checked in. Thank you so much for checking in, Ken. Those of you who don't know Ken, he was squarely in the path of the hurricane. And so it's really cool that you were able to be safe. And it was ironic that like a complete tornado storm ended up actually touching down in the very place where you were. But it sounds like, you know, not only are you safe, but also your house. And of course, our prayers and thoughts go out to all the folks that are in Florida. Hopefully everybody weathered out the storm okay. All of the folks' residents and businesses and the things. And let's see, catching up with that. Yeah, super happy that everybody is safe. That at the very least that we've heard from in our community. And so one of the techniques, I'm making sure we've got a decent framing here, is that you keep on checking your stone as you're going along. And let's see if we can kind of improve upon how we're seeing this. I don't know if that's in very good, how good is the focus on that? Not hard for me to see out here. But you can see there's incredible fossil design, the cellular structure that was preserved in the agatization and permineralization of these cells in beautiful blues and some pretty bright like browns and ochre colors. And so you can see we're getting a nice little polish going there as well, just dancing that around. But I like to see it usually a little closer up than that, just to make sure that all of the scratches are the same size and I'm not leaving some really big scratches behind. And you know, I'm making the mistake I think a lot of people make. I'm moving this around too much, and sometimes that befuddles what we're trying to see. And so hopefully you guys are getting a decent look at this. This is, you know, like a pretty decently sized horn coral that Blind Squirrel Rocks found on his property. So super cool. Keep on keeping on here. Yeah, not with that hand. We're a left-handed outfit today. Move that over. The high-tech flat lap comes in an 8-inch and a 6-inch. And when I started using the flat lap, which, gosh, I mean, it's over 10 years ago. Not this one. I've gone through 2 of them. I started with a 6, and when I wanted to replace it, I got the same size thinking that I could use the same laps. And what was funny is that they had changed the configuration so I couldn't use the same laps. Their arbor design was different. And so I think that at some point I'm just going to order a new hood, which will allow for the larger sized wheels. and, just buy a new complement as I go along. And so, not too bad of a mistake on account that the motor is the same and the housing for the bottom part is the same. It's just that the hood is different. All right, and so it's looking pretty, and you can see I wiped the water off of it, and it's still a really nice color combination. So we're getting past all of that, the powdery white of the coarse sanding, and getting into some of the natural color intensity, which is always so exciting. Chasing the beauty of the polished stone is so definitely the gravy of this. Catching up on the chat. I'm so glad that you saved your microscope. I'll be darned. Are you serious, Ken? Would you be ready to do a microzone? That would be super fun. And a couple of slices of rock that you were polishing for Lisa. Well, shoot, that would be fantastic. We'll have to talk about that. Maybe tomorrow night's Friday Night Live could have the relief from the hurricane microzone session. And I've got a few more of these guys, not to stick it in your face, but let's have a look at some of the other material. This is this totally cute dainty. Let's see if I'm holding this good for you. Let's get it a little bit wet. This is a little maloi slice that I got as part of a series of slices from our friend Josh. And it was so fiery, and those of you who have been watching the channel a lot lately know that I've got a bunch of fire opal and some other, this just passion for red and hot orange and yellow. And so this is going to be a super fun stone to use with those things. So we'll go ahead and get this guy going. Catching up on the chat. And Patricia's creations, welcome in. Thank you for coming. Just doing some polishing on the flat lap outside on an absolutely gorgeous October day here. Feels like summer. We've got like a partial overcast, but it's easily 65, 70 degrees here on my deck, and so I thought that we should all share that together. Oh, I'm getting out of the screen, guys. I'm like getting way up here. You guys can't see that. Funny. We've had some docking conversations in the past, and this here is a barbecue skewer. Some of y'all don't have any love for the dopping station that is sold through a lot of, like, the dopping station. You've seen it in your mind or on the ads. The dop pot that has like the little section places where you can put your dops when they're drying. It's got a little Teflon. Swimming pool side or hot tub side for the stones to sit on right before you dop them up. Some people have hated theirs, and I'll tell you, that's all I have, and it works great for me. And so I think it's really interesting how different companies that release the same thing, I'm wondering if they actually get different providers of the same thing, and maybe some of them really suck and some of them are great. You're welcome to weigh in on your feelings about dopping, but almost all of my stones that I cab, I dop, just to save my fingertips and stuff. And so I thought I'd go ahead and at the very least, sometimes when people have spoken negatively about a certain thing, I'll just straight up give up on it. And, only to find in the future, like at some other date, that, I actually don't mind what might have been a really huge drawback for somebody else, or it didn't happen for me the same way. And Margaret is here. Good to see you, Margaret. Thank you so much for coming out of lurk mode and saying hello. We appreciate it. And isn't this the best when you can just work while somebody else is working? I love working and lurking. And so I'm happy to do some of the live streaming so that y'all can be working and lurking yourselves. And she is weighing in. Margaret is talking about how the microzone that we did for Ma's birthday, which was an absolutely great microzone and a super fun birthday celebration, was stunning and fascinating. And she would vote for that anytime. And I agree. Ken puts on an absolutely fabulous presentation of microscopy. And that is definitely one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite guests. And I think he's the guestliest guest of all time on the Ozone as well. Holds the trophy for being on the Ozone the most times as anybody. And Scott Argyle is here. Good to see you again today, sir. And maybe you'll get into lapidary. Excellent. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. All right, and so here is, you change our view a bit. Here is our stone that we're working on. Is that not in focus? Focus. It's hard to see that, unfortunately, the glare of the sun is on my phone. See if we move it around a little bit. I mean, you can surely see that this is a fiery little number. And it actually has a little druzy center right in the middle of the fortifications there. I wonder if I do the thing. Hold on just a second. I had forgotten that that's what you do. It's been a second since I've done a live stream from my phone, you guys. And so there, we're getting a much better look at this sweet, sweet little, spicy maloi with a druzy center right there in the middle. And that is the shine that we're putting on it. And those of you who are looking closely at these stones that I'm doing probably noticed that with this guy and subject number 1 is that I left these guys raw edged. I really, 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 when I can, I love leaving the natural edge to a stone. It gives it some provenance, you can see like what kind of entity it was to begin with. I love organic shapes and that sort of thing, so I decided to do that with both of these guys. That one, I think, once polished, will be a really nice candidate for a microzone too. And so we'll take a closer look at those structures. And actually, for Comparo, I think we might be close to done on that. Like I said, I usually look with my my jeweler's loop, but we can go ahead and put that to the side. But I want to show you the comparison between these two guys. So this one still needs to get polished on the 325. Thanks for the correction. And this guy has already gone there, and you can see what a difference just that stage makes. Pretty incredible. It's so incredible. So we'll get on with it. I believe that this one should go next. This is, as I said before, a piece of the Gemfield chalcedony, and it's one of those polychrome pieces, but it's from the purple dendrite zone. So purple dendrites, beautiful druzy core, and then we've got some really nice peachy color and some red color around, and it even zones into kind of like a light robin's egg green blue turquoisey color. So pretty interesting, good looking stone. Let's get on with it. Change that back to that. Wow, you guys getting dizzy off of that yet? Sure. So this guy doesn't have natural edges, and so obviously I'm going to be working not only the face on this, but also over to the sides. And so those of you who haven't polished on a flat lap before, maybe this is something new. Although, you know, Kurt has actually been doing some pretty cool lives also. Like, if you're up very late at night or in the morning, if you want to have something cool to watch with your coffee the night before, Kurt has been doing a couple of live polishings, and he is Rockhound Adventures. And so check out Kurt's channel for upcoming lives, and he does this this version of polishing as well. And so this is how I get the shaping and get the polish, you know, on the wraparound portion of the cabochon. And I am reading some comments. Looks like Willow Rocks is here in the chat. Thank you for coming. Good to see you. Hope that you're having a beautiful and sunny and summery October day as well. And I wish some of this beautiful weather over to all of our friends in the hurricane and stormy areas. And then another thing that seems to be going on as far as, like, you know, while we're talking about nature, looks like Vern is in the house also. Welcome in, Alabama, USA. Thank you so much for coming. That there's some aurora borealis action gonna happen. And so you might want to check what the forecast is for your area. And don't we also have a meteor shower going on? So what a pleasant lineup if you are anywhere in the aurora zone and also could be watching some you know, beautiful meteor shower going on at the same time. How much fun. And a comet. Oh, right, Vern. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I think that, like, yeah, talk about the trifecta of natural beauty. How lucky could we all be? Am I getting out of the picture? Should probably be vigilantly watching this part. Like watching the comment section go by, and then also, you know, watching from my point of view the stone, and again just keeping it in motion the entire time, just so that I don't get any weird spots on the stone. And Cheryl's in the house. Cosmic baby shower. I love it. Yeah, baby. A humanity killer. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we don't want that. I don't think any of us are done playing with rocks. Don't want that rock to play with at all. Orionid meteor. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, as I was going through some of the fire opals, I started looking at combinations of some of this chalcedony that I'm polishing up here, and how beautiful the reds and oranges of the fire opal will look with the reds and oranges that are part of these stones. And so that's going to be pretty darn fun. I just got a shock off of this bad boy. Careful. So really unique. All of this material is just so darn unique. And that's all full of water right now, but that's actually a druzy pocket that has colors of just white, as you can see, is sort of a bullseye effect of the way that it decided to fortify. But also it's got some of that kind of robin's egg color in there. And you can see it's like there's almost hairline fracture about 2/3 the way up the triangle there, or the kite design towards the tip. And that's actually healed with chalcedony, and that happens quite a bit. There's one on this your respective right side of the dot over by one of the angles of the kite. And so this stuff is so fun. You can see kind of in the shade, you know, the sun is washing out the pixels, but it's quite the pretty color. I would say it's a lavender that dives into that robin's egg color. So really, really nice looking material. All the material from Gemfield pretty much curls my toes. It's so beautiful. If you've seen the Gemfield material, I would love to hear from you. You know, there's the bullseye chalcedony. There's the purple dendrite chalcedony. There's actually some like red chalcedony that oftentimes has the banding also. All of those were on my auction, you know, the sale, and I've been showing all of those off. And then of course we have the opalite from there, which has the tendency to be pretty much these colors. This is kind of adjacent, and so it presents in almost the same colors, though it's pretty very spider webbed in these colors, plus in the spider webs usually there's a dark purple or a deep maroon color. So I'd love to hear what your favorite is of the chalcedony from Gemfield, if you're familiar with it. Looks like Lisa's in the house. Good to see you, Lisa. I think I saw your name a little earlier too. Just didn't see you. So if you're there, good to see you. The Leonids is in November for the meteorites. I remember there's one that, yeah, you always have to get really, you know, you get your sleeping bag out and you go and you sit outside, but, you know, either in a complete polar coat or your sleeping bag or what have you. Oh wow, Willow just put all of them down there. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Different Lisa. Okay. Well, other Lisa, good to have you here. And Ryan's here. Did I say hi to Ryan? Seems like you've been here. Yeah, Ryan, I'm looking forward to you doing some of the Gemfield that you got too. I'm just so pleased with how what an easy shine it brings up. It's a hard material, but it doesn't feel like it kicks back or is as difficult to work with as say like Montana. And so, you know, once you get it shaped down to what you'd like to work with, it polishes up such a dream. I absolutely am so in love. And the spicy ghost is here. Good to see you, Boot. So let me wipe this off, and that's where it's at with this wheel. I'm trying to get a sheen so that you guys can kind of see like where it's at as far as the polish that it's taken already. It's gosh, it's already shiny. You gotta love it. So what would you put with this? Like, would you put an amethyst because it's purple, or would you put some of the fire opal, or some topaz, champagne sunstone, strawberry sunstone, red fire opal? There's like a lot of different gems that you could pair this with if you were going to make, say, a pretty pendant with maybe like a top stone right there. It obviously could hold its own all by itself. It would be so cool to just have all the above. Yeah, actually, that lighting right there, just for a moment, you can see the blue rather well on that. You know, that kind of robin's egg greeny blue and turquoisey, but it's pastel. It's like an Easter. The whole stone is like, you know, pastel Easter colors. And would you set it this way or more as a kite? It's interesting how different stones look, you know, with the which way you set them, which colors, you know, hit your eye and you feel are more prevalent in the stone. I always am fascinated by that. Like, you think you know a stone and then you turn it over and you're like, ooh, who are you even? And Patricia says amber. I like that. Nice. And Turtle Montana is saying my Wapadewi flat wap is very, very wobbly. Yes, it is. This is like a particularly wobbly master that I have. And so it's probably on its last legs. I should do something about that. And Ryan is saying, could I inlay something in the vug if it didn't have interest by itself? Most certainly could. Boy, there are no wrong answers. Oh my gosh, hand drifts. Sorry, guys. No wrong answers there. And so if, like, I probably wouldn't have, you know, made this a superstar, like, you know, centered that particular vug had it not had so much interest in it. But based on the fact that it does, color differences just dependent on the shadow or in the light, I like seeing that too. Things definitely look different, but you're kind of getting an idea. Yeah, most certainly could do a super cool inlay. So if this had been like a shard that decided to break out, or if it was corroded, like some rotten rock there that I just hadn't anticipated, then I can always, you know, go back and do something cool to make the rock, you know, sometimes those mishaps or accidents turn out to be, you know, some of your very best pieces. Is problem solving and making something cool out of something that you thought was a problem. And the next guy that we have here, this is that ore, the silver ore from the Agate, 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 the Agate,
black warrior mine, and you can see where the ore is coming up. And you guys were present, I believe, when I found a piece of gold, or at least I showed off a piece of gold on one of my live streams that was in the silver ore. And it does turn out that the secondary mining objective there would have been gold, and it's very close to some of the gold mines. And so we're going to put this bad boy on next. It's definitely got a different hardness factor, and so we'll be dancing this guy around plenty, and he should not take as long as the other guys. And hey, Kurt, mentioning you just a moment ago, and the cool nighttime live streams that you have been doing. I discovered them in the morning, and how cool that you've been doing those. And you're an inspiration. I was like, oh, I should probably get on here and do some playing as well. And is Theo here too? Crazy. A kite with trillion peridot ears. Oh, that sounds nice. Resort dog. That sounds totally awesome. Looks like Blind Squirrel Rocks is off to do some fishing. Very, very cool. Yeah, I think I need to scrub back and see if anybody else had some suggestions. Gem salad. Yeah. Boy, we might have to do a session together where we put all the gems out and we play with who wants to play with who. Those are always fun, and you can kind of get a window into my crazy mind when I'm trying to set up a piece of jewelry. I like to put out all of the cabs and all the gems and see who wants to play with each other. You know, if somebody just wants to go solo, or if it seems like a better plan to put, like, the last one of these that I set, this particular stone, it just begged for a faceted piece of obsidian with it. And so you can see these beautiful dendrites that are coursing up through the quartz material, which is milky quartz. And so it just, you know, provides a very nice body color for the stone. And then we not only have the silver that is in a dendrite form that is causing some oxidized staining around it, and then, you know, you'll see upon, you know, very close inspection, the actual bits of silver will catch light and that sort of thing. But also we have a little bit of this staining that's probably the you know, some kind of an iron oxide, but it was in the staining that was kind of goldy colored like this that I did find the gold. And so I, you know, it would be interesting if I shined up this piece here, and sure enough, it's got, you know, a little, gosh, what do they call that? Wire gold. That would be amazing. So anyways, I think that, you know, as the beauty of the dendritic structure of the silver provides, it makes for a very, very nice gemstone. And obviously looks fantastic set in silver. And then the obsidian was faceted and just was the perfect thing to kind of set off the contrast of the piece. And so I'm usually, when I'm spending all this time shaping and polishing the stone, I'm I'm scheming on who it might want to play with and what kind of jewelry design might want to go around it as well. Get part the way there that way. And thank you, Melissa. Definitely a fun stone. And this stuff is typically, because of the differing types of mineral that you have here, the quartz plus the silver and oxide, you get kind of an uneven quality to your polishing. But you know, even if there's like a little bit of undercutting and that sort of thing, it's still really, really cool because of who's responsible for that. You know, the mineral presence, like the fact that the quartz might work away a little bit and show off this fantastic silver. It's okay. It's okay if it misbehaves a little bit. And so, take another look. And again, you know, just depending on which way you turn a stone, you just get to notice some different things in the shadow, in the light. Cell phones are interesting in how they like to parse light, and you know, their pixels can only handle so much. Stuff always looks different when you get to see it with the naked eye. But I'm liking that we at the very least have a couple of different options here to be able to look at this stone. So interesting. So minerally significant too. There, try to get you closer on those dendrites. So pretty. And so of course I'm thinking like, oh, maybe some dendritic opal would look really cool with this, you know, continue the dendrites, you know, from one stone to another. That wouldn't look bad. And I definitely have a whole nother batch of the opals going on. And hopefully I'm not moving the stone so fast that, again, it's befuddling YouTube. I know that sometimes gives the picture a really hard time. And so you guys can shout at me if I'm doing weird things. And I think something turned dirty. Uh-oh. Let's put another one of these fossils on the polisher here. So this is this guy. I showed you the comparison between this guy and the other, you know, this one looking so powdery and sandy, and the other one getting quite the nice polish. But if you came in late, you didn't get to see that one, so we'll do this guy. With a live horn coral edge to it. Yes, absolutely. Ryan asking, do you have daydreams of stones dancing together while I lap? Nice. Yes. The answer is 1,000 times yes. It's, as I'm sure Kurt can attest to, you know, it's hours, and so can you, Ryan and Melissa. You know, I know a lot of you out there are doing the flat lapping. You've got a lot of time, like intimate time with a stone, plenty of time for it to tell you what it needs, what it wants, what it might want to be like when you get finished with it. And so I like to spend time with the stone and of course dream, try to hear what it has to say. If it's going to talk to me, some of them don't. I guess it's not necessarily a sure thing that a stone's gonna like you and talk to you and let you know its most innermost secrets. And Resort Dog is saying ciao, going back to cleaning. Well, have a great afternoon. Thank you for joining us, Resort Dog, and good luck with your cleaning. And citrine would absolutely look stunning. I agree. A nice citrine would be very beautiful. In fact, an ametrine would be really neat since it goes with purple to some yellow. So too, that cab So maybe that's something to look at too. I have a couple pieces of ametrine that I need to facet. And that'll be an upcoming live stream as well, doing some faceting. I just thought I'd take us all outside today because those days are going to be fewer and farther between coming up soon, since we're going into more wintry season, fall and winter. It's supposed to start raining soon on our forecast, and so I thought, okay, go get some vitamin D, take everybody outside. I love doing this kind of polishing outdoors on account that not only do you have a lot of airflow, so you don't have to worry so much about your particulates. The lighting's really good as far as getting a fantastic representation of the true UV spectrum on your stone. That's to me very valuable. And when it's time to move inside, we'll be able to do either more of this, or of course we can start faceting too. And so here is where this guy is. Now look at that cellular structure. Is that not just spectacular? This stuff is so much fun to polish. That is like some kind of crazy, sunburst jellyfish, microcosm to the macrocosm. So much visual interest on that. Very, very pretty. Stunning. I agree. We'll keep her going. These guys deserve a little extra time. They might look eye polished, but then you get your jeweler's loop out and you realize that you've got some patches that didn't quite make it, some uneven bits. And so I'll go back through this batch that we've been working on today and probably do like a little cleanup session. And who knows how far I'm going to get them. I'm working on some... it looks like Rocky and Wheelers is here in the house. Good to see you, Joseph. I'm working on some faceting at night. The night light is best for faceting. I like to do that when I can control all the light in the room. And so as soon as the sun goes down, it's kind of like vampires or Dracula, then the faceting comes out. And so tomorrow for the Friday Night Live, I can show off some of the faceted opals that have been in the works. And then perhaps, given what happens tomorrow during the day, we might also see some of these superstars finished. And so we'll see how much work Karen can get done in the next 24 hours. While I'm dancing this around, I'm going to take a look at the chat here. That is amazing. Yes, spectacular, spectacular. Good. Thank you so much, Joseph. It's good to see you. Hope that you've got some fun things on your polishing laps as well. And thank you, Daniel. It is such a pleasure, as most of you here in the chat know, to cut something open and just be already blown away by when you get to cut it and what's revealed then, but also being able to polish it. And like I was saying before, does it speak to you intimately? Is it showing you its most intimate secrets? And in so many ways it does. And so it's just like I'm always humbled by being able to do this. And it looks like currently Rock Hounding is here in the house too. Hey, Jared. Good to see you. I'm doing a little outdoor studio, and it looks like you've been very, very busy over in Utah. Kudos to you for all of the adventures that you've been on lately. And Jeff is also in the house. Welcome in and thank you. It's great to see you as well. Another person who is completely into cutting things open and seeing what is revealed there. And if you haven't gone and checked it out, go check out Jared's most recent video checking out the laboratory of AZ rock hounding. Some good fun there. I'm glad that you guys had a chance to hang out. And Jared of Currently Rock Hounding is saying Utah is very nice. You know what? I would say that that's probably an understatement. So enjoy that state. So much good rockin' stuff going on there for sure. All right. And this is where this is hanging out, and I can wipe the water off, and that's always so fun when you wipe the water off and it still is presenting with all the pretty colors and some really, really interesting, biological formations going on here. Every now and again I gotta pause because stones just take my breath away and brain goes dead. Mouth might keep moving but not saying words that make a whole lot of sense because beauty. And so these horn coral coins, I knew that they were going to be something special. We've got some more material from Blind Squirrel Rocks to catch up with. So I'll be doing some more cutting and, perhaps doing it like just a dedicated fossils from his land. Like this is off of his property kind of episode, because we've got some really neat other kinds of coral and death plate material to also polish up. So maybe the weather will hold out long enough. We've got a beautiful weekend coming up, so maybe some weekend live, hopefully not overlapping with Kyle, but might look at doing something like that to get the jump on it before we go into some of the nastier weather that seems to be suggested for this weekend coming up. And thank you, Ryan. Yeah, the live edges, it's amazing how that can really be an upside. I do appreciate when I always think it's so neat. Uh-oh, I'm not framed very well. I always think it's so neat when other folks do it and I see it in some other presentation. And so I try to remember what's good when I'm doing mine. Sometimes you get so wrapped up in the way that you do a thing, you forget about some different ways, for sure. And Jeff will have to share in the Discord the awesome horn coral that you found yesterday in Missouri. That sounds awesome. Definitely do share with us. That would be great. And that red colored horn coral is amazing as well. I agree. And oh dear, sounds like Joseph is having trouble with technology getting pictures. But I'm so happy to hear that you're busy facing rocks and getting some new things from Tyler. Alleluia. That's another one on the weekends that I would hate to overlap with, on account that Tyler is doing some wonderful live streams too. I love watching him work with the jewelry, especially. And Ryan is saying, we'll look forward to seeing how you use it too. Yeah, obviously when you have an organic structure, you have to think of some different troubleshooting methods for how to set it. And so that'll definitely be something that comes into play. I'm having a little hand float here. Let's see if I can correct that. And so I'll take you guys along the trip. I was thinking that one of these would make a spectacular bolo tie, actually. And so that's probably going to be a potential direction for at least one of these buttons. I've got more to cut, and so I'm not feeling like, you know, anything's going to be too terribly committed. I can do many different takes, since I've got, in this batch alone, take these guys. So I've got 3 of them set up for this batch, and you know, that one's still needing to get its time on the wheel. And then these are from one specific horn coral, and I know that a couple of you guys ended up with some horn coral from blind squirrel rocks from my auction giveaways. And so if you've got some of these, this is what they look like when they start getting polished up. They are really, really super cool. So yeah, don't feel like you don't want to polish them up and make them beautiful. And so, yeah, I've got some varying sizes and some varying permineralization colors too that I need to work with, but I do not have one of those red ones either. And so that would be kind of fun to work with, especially given all the red material that I've been super into lately. And I'm going to actually take a cue from the sun. I'm going to hang these guys up. We're going to take a quick tour through the other. So those were those rocks that we worked with. And then we also worked with these guys here. And we've got some tall trees that are to the west, to the northwest, that the sun's going to get ready to dive behind. And so you guys can see these beautiful guys that we worked on, and I'll either be doing another live to continue these, or you get to see them finished and going into, you know, some jewelry designs or having some trajectory, not sure what. Probably shouldn't move them around so fast. At least the water is dried so you can see some of the druzy pocket on that fantastic chalcedony. So this turned out to be a pretty cool experiment. It was very, very impromptu. Like I said, I had the dentist to go to, and I didn't end up having to go to the dentist after all. And so it turned out beneficial for us to be able to hang out and trying to move stuff around here. We're going to do that and do this, and there we go. So I want to thank you guys again for hanging out on this beautiful afternoon, doing some, let's see, where is it, the flat lapping with me. And we'll do it again soon. If you guys have any suggestions, recommendations, requests as to what you'd like to see on the flat lap, or you have some technical questions that might be good to address, then I can do that. We'll save the polishing of the cabochon for Diane. That keeps on happening. Is it because I don't want to let go of the stone? Does it have anything to do with that, do you think? Not trying to be putting that off on purpose, but at any rate, a warm thank you to all of you that showed up today to hang out and try this experiment out here. And a special thank you to Melissa for being like the fabulous wrench in the chat. Thanks to all of you guys that are hanging out in the chat with me. And we will see each other very soon, if not on somebody else's premiere or live stream. But of course, we've got the Friday Night Live coming up tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Who knows? We might see a little microscopy from a friend. It'll be a surprise for all of us.
So once again, thanks. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon and evening. And I'll see you around the live streams. Take care. Steinkerns. Oh, I forgot my cup. Steinkerns to you. And boops. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.